Have you ever wanted your competitive experience to look like it was molded out of Play-Doh by a bunch of psych ward patients? Maybe you're fond of being called racial slurs while your friend Billy is being sniped at by 3 pixels in the distance, and your designated driver is trying to get unstuck from some geometry. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I have the game for you. PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. Some people call it PUBG. We call those people illiterate. A subset of those people pronounce it PUBG. We refer to them as target practice. For each like this video gets, I'll execute another orphan. The game loop is simple. You drop out of a plane onto one of many desolate islands full of freedom sticks and try to be the last man standing out of 100. 6 years later, this sounds like old news, but at the time of its release, this was groundbreaking. Being the grandfather of the genre, this game has aged like wine. That is to say, it tastes like absolute shit. The thought child of the aforementioned PlayerUnknown, Brendan Green is an Irish programmer who basically created the battle royale genre from scratch. Starting back in 2013, he made Last Man Standing Arma mods based off the 2000s Japanese sci-fi film Battle Royale, the plot in which is quite long. The movie sees a class of junior high students brutally murder each other to help lower the cost of ramune and Pockies, in a post-apocalyptic world where VTubers never existed. Mr. Green took one look at this movie and said, "I dig kids dying. Why isn't this a game yet?" He was approached by Bluehole to direct a standalone title. The game had a beta release in March of 2017, and in December of the same year, it was fully released to PC to rave reviews. Surprisingly, there is lore to this game. Commander Riker of the Star Trek Enterprise spent years collecting as much information as possible about the shadow organization hosting these death games, and what he found is about as deep as the lore of Squid Game. Basically, an 11-year-old Russian boy living on the island of Erangel had his peaceful life of watching Russian cartoons and eating Russian candy interrupted by gunfire and explosions. After it was blown to bits, the only survivor was this 11-year-old kid named Sergei. Of course, his name is Sergei. Like most wayward lads, he joined the Russian criminal underworld and first made a name for himself by selling videos of prisoners killing each other. Apparently in this universe, there's just as much of a market for watching people die, but instead of live leak, they have to spend 400 grand on videos of Russian prisoners shanking each other. Little Sergei realized he could create a business model out of this, so he started kidnapping people, faking their deaths, and throwing them out of planes to fight each other to the death for the entertainment of degenerates like me and you. There are a number of different islands, and we care about very few of them. So sit back, pop a perk, and I'll explain to you how to have fun in PUBG in 2023. Nothing in this game is ever as cool as the splash screens. Your average experience will probably be as intense as a drive through Afghanistan. Pretty boring up until the moment your car suddenly explodes. You'll probably immediately notice it looks like complete garbage. This is due to the game being developed by a company that's made 2 MMORPGs that no longer exist.
Boobies, lots of boobies.
And a mobile mini golf game. You can max out the settings all you want, and this is the best you're gonna get. You'd think a game with graphics this bad would run well, and you'd be wrong. Please ignore the background noise, that's my computer committing self-forever sleep. To be fair, comparing a small Korean company to the monolith that is Epic Games, the creators of Fortnite, and the owners of the engine both are built on, isn't the most fair. All I'm saying is Apex Legends is built on the Source engine, which is older than my average viewer, but at least when I get shit on in that game, it looks cool and swag. You'll notice 2 different perspective modes to choose from, third person and first person. You'll also notice that this part of the UI sticks out more than the rest. I hate it here. Third person tends to be more fun. Being able to collect information in 360 degrees around you gives you a sense of security and control. Not that it helps most of the time, you still won't ever know where you're being shot at from.
Bitch, swear.
You're also able to corner peek to gain an advantage over any delinquents trying to enter your small business. In the third person section, you have casual mode. It is the only way to guarantee playing on Erangel. Otherwise, you're given a choice between Renewable Energy Island, Santa's Wonderland, or Detroit, which I think is the main problem with the game. There are too many maps and they are randomly selected. There should be one active map at a time. They keep moving the school. My kids are gonna be late. The downside to playing casual mode is that it makes 90% of the players bots. Very much like my Discord server. Link in the description. You only get 3 games in casual mode a day. Every game only has 12 actual players and 88 bots, meaning the point of this mode is to grind out as many BP and challenges as possible. To maximize fun, there's a number of things we must keep in mind. Hot drops are not fun. You will die quickly, and what makes dying in this game worse is the time it takes to actually get into a match, because this game is the crippled grandfather of load time. On average, you'll spend about 5 minutes between hitting play and touching down on the ground, and if you're hot dropping, there's a good chance you'll then be dead within the next 8 seconds. I haven't seen a ratio this bad since I was suspended from Twitter. Guys, I swear this tweet has context. Thankfully, I found the house of the person who reported me, and I'm currently remodeling their living room out of the kindness of my own heart. You also don't want to drop in the middle of nowhere, or the game turns into Running Simulator 2017, where your only opponent is the blue wall of death. The ideal spot to drop is around hot areas. Where are the hot areas? I don't know. I haven't played this game enough to learn them all. The only reason I'm making this video is because I accidentally recorded the worst looking game ever in Ultra HD, and it's now taking up half a terabyte of space on my computer. Just assume anywhere with a name along the path of the plane is going to be a hot drop. Drop in the little nodes surrounding them. You're more likely to get loot and get out with your life, and if you're lucky you might end a few in the process. The movement in this game makes you feel like a Boston Dynamics robot. Actually, scratch that, I just checked in on those things and Jesus Christ, they can do flips and shit now. At this point in the video, I could talk to you about how the guns work, but they don't. PUBG's gunplay relies on physics-based projectiles. This means you need to consider variables such as projectile speed and bullet drop, and if the target is far enough, you'll have to lead your shots. You're gonna want a gun that either shoots very fast or very far. Shotguns are next to useless, unless at point blank range. God forbid you find an LMG. All the round expense of an SMG with all the effectiveness of a pistol, you'll be drawing outlines around your enemies for days. Oh my gosh, is that a flapjack gun? Like in Fortnite? The real meta in this game is killing your enemies before they figure out where you are, usually by sniping them from across the map. There are even a number of optics you can use that make even ARs viable for long-range encounters. All but this thermal sight. This thing has worse graphics than a Mattel handheld game, but if you aren't into slow, long-range gameplay, you can always just use one of the 2-ton bullets lying around. Cars as weapons are very viable in this game. They also have this amazing feature where you can kill yourself if you hop out too soon. Running people over is one of the more fun aspects of this game, and I can admit that. What I can't admit is how much alcohol I had before filming this. What seems to be the officer problem?
Sir, I'm gonna need you to step out of the vehicle.
Well, you see, what's funny about that, officer, is... Next on the list, random squads are not fun. Either no one talks or everyone's an absolute bitch for no reason.
Fucking retard.
What? Playing with friends, however, is very fun. Running around and being idiots doing stupid shit is always going to be a blast. Team damage is also enabled, which many see as a problem. I see it as a solution. Hey Becky, draw! Want to run over your teammates? Go for it. Want to have a Western style standoff with your teammates? Why not? Did you accidentally queue with autofill on? There's an easy way to solve that problem. That's what he gets for refusing to join our bike gang. Speaking of which, I found one of the best ways to play this game is with a group of friends and a bunch of bikes. Finding a pistol can be very lackluster, leaving you wishing you were playing DayZ so you can just F11 your way to freedom. But there is one great use for pistols: drive-bys. As the driver of a vehicle, you're unable to shoot unless you're using a pistol. But the car is overkill. Why shoot out of a car when you can ride bikes around, lighting people up? This strategy is so top tier, we actually won a game doing it. Woo! Let's go, baby! The main problem with playing squads is that, unlike most modern battle royales, there's no respawn system. I've just been informed while recording this that they just added respawns into the game. Good for you, PUBG. Gold star. It's called the recall system, where you're given these blue cards, wonder where they got that idea, and have to take them to the blue light towers, where after molesting the machine for X amount of seconds, you've respawned your teammate, who will arrive in 10 to 12 business days. Bitch, where you at?
It takes a minute for me to come back alive?
What? The best part is you don't always have respawning. Just like how maps are randomly selected, your chance of being able to revive is random too. Let's see, what else did this update add? Well, now you have something called a black zone, where it doesn't matter if you're in a building or not. You'll just randomly hear the American national anthem play before your house is turned into a pile of rubble. What the fuck? And now you get a chosen tactical at the start of a game, including this off-brand heartbeat sensor. But it doesn't actually track heartbeats. It tracks the blue cards that you're given. Except remember, you don't always get respawn cards. So half the time, randomly, this thing is absolutely useless. Get the f back on the short bus with the other bad battle royales. When playing with friends, the idea for dropping is the same, but dropping in the middle of nowhere is now more viable, especially if you're just looking to play some Can You Ramp It or generally dick around. You might notice after playing a while with your friends, the game doesn't stay very fun for very long, as they've killed most of the features that made it enjoyable, like disabling voice chat for the first minute of the match, meaning you don't get to hear the beautifully racist voice chat that made the game so charming back in the day.
America! 9/11! Good time!
Taking away the little enjoyable pieces of this game just adds more reason why you should go somewhere else. Take loot boxes, for example. When PUBG released, it had one of the best loot box systems I have ever seen. Driven by weekly demand, the price of crates started at 400 BP, and each case you bought would double the cost until the end of the week. Back in the day, the supply-demand curve made my neurons fire. I'd grind all the cases I could at the beginning of the week and sell them all on Saturday. I made $80 doing this when the game released me. I made my money back for the original sticker price. Today they basically just copy pasted the mobile loot box system, completely killing the player driven market. The only thing I can think of that could make this game more of a shell of itself is if they added some useless game mode like deathmatch or something like. Oh god, no. Yes, just when you thought this game couldn't get any worse, they throw in a half-baked deathmatch mode. And yes, it's as bad as you'd imagine. I'll just let Salt summarize how exactly deathmatch feels in this game.
There's no skill in this game. You can't see it. It's hard with the controls. With the controls don't work in the game. How does he have an SLR? What the hell is that? He has a ghillie suit. That's so pay to win. That's not fair. I can't. I just can't. God. Can I please have a teammate? I'm getting very upset. I get more upset in this than I am in Tarkov. Oh my god. Happy Pride Month, motherfucker. Are you weaving my bullets? Are you Neo? Oh my. I'm getting angry. I'm getting angry. I just got a kill and we lost. There's a second round. Oh my god. We have to play this again. Oh my god. Oh, you can lean in this game. You can lean from the hip. Something Tarkov will steal shamelessly 5 years later. What? I hit him in the face. How do you hold your fucking breath? How do I hold my breath so I can suffocate myself? It doesn't even feel smooth while running. Like, it feels like such a chore to run in this game. Grenades aren't heavy. In what world are grenades heavy? Or I just failed my physics class, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, I'm doing better now. I'm doing better now, and I'm feeling more confident in the game. I feel like I understand the game. Oh, fucking never mind. I got shot to death. I killed someone. How do I voice chat? How do I voice chat? I hate fucking dying in this game. It makes me want to kill myself.
I was fully expecting that slur to come out of your mouth.
There are two other arena modes as well, Blue Bomb Rush and Intense Battle Royale. Blue Bomb Rush is essentially CSGO mode, because while everyone has spent the last 6 years imitating PUBG has finally realized they should probably try and distance themselves from destroying the gaming industry. This game mode has many issues, but it is fun in its own way, and very easily more fun than the standard game loop. Your goal is either to plant the bomb on one of the two sites, or defuse the bomb before it goes off. You're also able to purchase weapons and gear each round. It isn't a new concept, and the worst part is, you're still playing PUBG instead of CSGO. But like the main mode, playing with friends makes it 10 times better. Personally, I preferred running around with a shotgun and revolver, but if you really want a challenge, whip out the frying pan and first person to get a kill with it is big guy for the rest of the night. The final mode is Intense Battle Royale. This mode basically strips away all the tedious gameplay you usually find yourself a victim of and tosses you right into the end game. There are only a total of 16 players a match, and instead of looting for gear, you're given crates you can open to get a random weapon and ammo of that type. Other crates can also be looted to give you level 3 armor and fun things like C4 explosives. This mode is objectively better and more fun in terms of combat because it streamlines the part you get the most enjoyment out of. Out of all the arena modes, this is definitely the most fun, but the issue is how long it takes to get into a goddamn match sometimes. 11 seconds, my ass. I respect this game crawling so we could learn how to walk with other battle royales, but it turns out this one never learned how to walk and is now just a crippled baby lying on the floor, yearning for death. For a free game, it's not bad. So if you're one of those people who has enough money for a good ass computer, but not enough for pay-to-play experiences, maybe look into it. And if you're not a loser and have some friends, you'll definitely get some enjoyment with the boys in this game. Don't forget to leave a like, and remember, I'm living in your walls.